welcome back to my channel. Yesterday is Wednesday, and we all know what that means. Spooky animation. But let's start with greetings. Come on. Hello, my name is Daniel. I'll be your host, your
guy in the chair.
And today for spooky animation, we'll be watching and enjoying. There's something outside that you need to know about, or that you don't know about. So let's enjoy. So enjoy this I don't know about.
Sometimes you never truly know what is out there until you've seen your nightmares come to life. I was about 21 years old the day I realized its true meaning. At the time, I worked in a warehouse for minimum wage. There was this dark corner in the very back of the warehouse, which every employee knew about. It was an unnaturally cold place with stale air. I felt like it was alive, watching closely over your shoulder. Despite having an old factory light hanging directly over the shelves, it was never a bright place. My job was to stand and scan all of the items on the shelf, along with pick lists, which were printed lists with items on them. The models would wear these items, and then I would put them back where they belonged. It was a Wednesday, and my team leader handed me a pick list of items for the models to wear. It was my job to get them to the studio for fitting as soon as possible. A hat, check. Some shoes, check. And then the third item, sweater. When I arrived at the dark corner, there was a woman standing near one of the shelves. I could hear her breath shaking as she was hunched over it, scanning each item as quickly as she could. Occasionally, I would hear her say the F word as she scanned the many items, trying to find the one she was looking for. I looked at my pick list and searched for the shelf number. At every step, my body would come closer and closer to the very corner of the warehouse. I could feel something staring at me. It felt like they were a foot behind me. I looked at the shelf and took another few steps towards it. The deep beating in my chest grew, and the urge to look behind me became the only thought in my head. I finally looked. There, behind the woman, was a manly figure with long arms coming out of his back. The arms dripped with black smoke. The beating inside of my chest grew louder and louder until I could even hear it. She didn't even notice. She didn't even see it, but I could see her arms shaking. The figure wrapped his arms around her and pushed her body into his, as though his chest could feel hunger. I didn't know what to do. It's not like she could see it. How am I supposed to tell her to run if she can't even see him? Frozen, I stood there watching this thing wrap himself around my coworker. Then he saw me. He saw me looking right at him and noticed I could see him too. I looked down quickly at my pick list, hoping he would believe I didn't see him. If I just finish this thing, I can go. The number for the shelf was JH243, which was the last shelf at the end. I was about 5 feet away from JH243 when I lifted my gaze up from the ground. Long, slender fingers slowly crept over the corner of the shelf. The corner grew shadows darker than anything I could have ever imagined. Following the fingers was an inhuman head, ever so slowly creeping itself around the shelf. I had to do this. I had to get the item as fast as I could so I could leave. Acting as though I didn't see him, my gaze locked on the shelf, and I grabbed the sweater I needed. One scan. It didn't work. I scanned again, and it didn't work. A black shadow encompassed me. I could see the top of his head, but his eyes didn't come second. He didn't have a face. It was just a pit. As fast as I could, I grabbed the item the woman was looking for and hurried her away. After that terrible incident, a few weeks later, I hosted a birthday party at my house. My guests kept saying they heard whispering and ended up fighting each other during a cookout. I brushed it off as people playing jokes until I was alone and doing the dishes another day, and I heard this constant whispering like someone was right in my ear. I was so scared and thought my boyfriend was playing a joke to scare me, but he was at work, and my sister was also at work. I hung up the phone and then went into the kitchen and all the drawers were open. Later that day, I was cooking in the kitchen and my sister made a joke about the house being haunted. While she was talking, a cross fell off the wall all of a sudden. I placed it back on the wall and she made a joke again about it being a demon. Then the cross came off again. And I told her not to worry about it because maybe the nail wasn't right and laughed it off. I placed the cross on a bookshelf nearby with its back on the surface. She was quiet after that until she made another joke to lighten the mood. The cross on the bookshelf, which was across from her, flew off horizontally. Weeks went on. I began seeing this shadow in the morning when I woke up. I ignored it because no way was that real. It was just my imagination. I didn't know where else to go, so I went to the church for help, telling them everything I was experiencing, but they said they couldn't help me. I tried sitting in the church, and all I heard was hissing, literally snakes hissing, like it didn't want me to listen. Not only that, but I went from a positive, happy person to a grim, hateful, resentful girl. Merely wishing something happened to people was dangerous. My dad has been convinced to this day that I was possessed by a demon because of how much my personality changed. After that, I stopped accepting any guests. I started throwing up everything I ate and couldn't keep anything down until I was hospitalized for starvation. I just remember the day I felt so weak and called 911. I was scared. I felt like I wasn't going to be here for much longer. Then, all of a sudden, there was a light that told me it was okay. I never knew what it was. After that, everything was gone. I was there for 3 weeks with mental evaluations, and they said nothing was actually wrong with my mental health. I don't know what is out there, but that experience scared me. And this is what made me realize that something is out there.
Hey guys, yes, that one was interesting, and it goes to show there might be a higher, there is a higher power. And if there's a higher power, then there's the lower power, the demons. I mess with the higher power. And that's it. That's all I ever want to mess with. Because if he's real, the other ones have to be real. I ain't watching myself. I stay in my lane. But I hope you got far enough and you liked it. And you comment down below if you want to see more. Even though I'm going to post it anyway. And then subscribe. And I'll leave with this here. I hope you had an awesome night and the rest of the day goes really well. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.